I'd love to tell you about Terra Nil. The day after we recorded the last episode of the podcast and you'd set South Africa as the next country, I downloaded Terra Nil onto my iPad and played through the whole thing in one sitting.
Well, that's quite a positive review.
I hated every second. No, I didn't. I'm not one for strategy games, really. My brain doesn't just quite work in those ways, but I do also enjoy the satisfaction that comes with neatly building and organising and creating things in strategy games. So long as they're not too taxing, I can sometimes find my way to having a great time with them. And I'm pleased to say that Terra Nil was one of these. So the premise of Terra Nil is that you are put in charge of terraforming a selection of environments, turning them from sort of barren, post-apocalyptic wastelands into flourishing ecosystems, bustling and blooming with fauna and flora, respectively. And the way you do this is a little bit at a time. First, you utilise the natural element. I didn't even think that was funny until I said it.
It's only because of it makes me think of that joke where it's like, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice.
First, you use the natural elemental sources of power by building wind turbines, which is always a win in my book for a game to feature wind turbines.
Yep.
And using that power to start sorting the land and sea out. Each environment will have different factors at play, whether that's, some sort of toxic vapors in the air that need cleansing, or lava spewing out of hills or coming up out of the ground, or icy plateaus. And you'll need to combine various pieces of technology to help then adjust the levels of heat and humidity to clean and then plant and pollinate plant life back into existence. And then you try to fashion the right combination of conditions of topography, vegetation, temperature, and climate to bring wildlife back to the regions. You'll end up building huge networks of machines and technology to help get the land to this state, including making monorail systems to help transport different things around to different areas of the map. And I particularly enjoy building these large canopies over forests, which would then increase the humidity. It was just very satisfying. The very, very, very best thing about Terra Nil is that once you've built this amazing technical network to establish a perfectly balanced ecosystem that is fueling the essences of new life, you then go through the process of removing all traces of your presence. So you then have to start packing machinery down. You use the same monorail networks to then mop your way out of the door, so to speak. Working backwards and packing down all of your gear before you then leave the environment altogether as a beautiful, lush land. No evidence of your presence and a huge swell of satisfaction in your heart. Terra Nil is essentially a reverse city builder.
Yeah.
And the integrated tidying up makes for such a satisfying gaming experience that I wasted no time in going through all 4 of the main environments that the game has, eager to get that perfectly clean dopamine hit again and again and again until I cleansed the whole planet. One of the really nice things about the fact that you're going to tidy up afterwards, and the fact that you want things to be organic, is I didn't get worried about, I can't place this next to this. Part of my brain says, well, you need to have all these things in a row, so that it's neat. Whereas this, I was like, no, it goes there, no, it goes there, and it's just like a bit of this here, a bit of that there, a bit of this, and it's just really nice and organic. And the fact that you're going to remove all your stuff at the end means I'm just not worried about that. When you have beaten all 4 of the levels, you do unlock alternate versions of those 4 levels, which then have got slightly altered mechanics and characteristics and rule sets to adhere to offer more variety, increased longevity. I just found the whole experience of playing Terra Nil just to be so delightful.
Yeah.
It's got great mechanics. It's really easy to control on the iPad. It's got lovely ASMR sound design. It's got this nice plunky plonky piano music that reminded me a little bit of Breath of the Wild. It's got this great eco-friendly sentiment at its heart, and wind turbines plentiful enough to blow you away. It's also free as part of Netflix games.
Oh, wow.
So,
no excuse.
I like I will admit that I played it on an easy difficulty setting, so I could just purely enjoy the processes of the game without the stresses. But I can see that it would pose a real strategic challenge to those who are after that sort of gaming experience, and certainly the alternate versions of the 4 levels are designed to be a more, advanced challenge. On top of that, to provide a more advanced challenge again. So if you're a strategy gamer, then, you're going to have a great time. If you just like to make things nice, you're going to have a great time. It's lovely. I loved it. I'm really glad I played it.